Hi, everybody. My name is Mike Manning.
And I'm Trinity French.
And we are your business coaches at Wired to Change.
With the number 2.
We help you get your business to the level you want it to be so you can enjoy the life of a small business owner.
And what a great life it is.
It is. I missed you last week. You and Holly had a blast.
We had a really good conversation.
You two talk like you've been friends for years.
And we just met last week.
I know.
Yep.
But the beauty is you both geek out on the same things.
Yeah.
So it's like a slumber party, wasn't it?
It was. Her passion for helping others and knowing that we both have stage fright was, there were things that we bonded over. And I think it's great because our listeners need to know that we're all humans. And even though we have this amazing podcast and we do cool work with our clients, that we are still human and have the same fears and trepidations that other people do. But we've just figured out ways to work around them or work with them and make it better and work to our advantage.
And you were both bossy kids growing up.
We were. Yeah.
I found that hilarious.
Did you?
I did. But I get it now that people need to be retrained that just because a 6 or 7-year-old girl is bossy, there's some leadership in that role.
Yeah. Well, and I was always the one growing up that when we would hang out, my friends would come to my house. When we would be playing a game, I'd be the one making up the rules. So it's just those things were a natural tendency for me. And I was very lucky that my parents embraced those things and didn't try to stifle them. And that early on, educators, I remember my first grade teacher, my third grade teacher always would pick me out to do special things for them or special projects. And that just helped to cultivate that into a strength versus something that I would have gotten in trouble for.
Bossy to me, being a parent now, bossy to me is when you tell your little brother, hey, you better clean the dishes for me because I don't want to do it tonight. That's bossy. But when you have 6 friends over and you say, hey, we all love playing this game, let's play it now. And they all go, great. That's leadership.
Yeah, but I probably did it in a much bossier way. And I did boss my brothers around.
As you should, yes. As a big sister, you should.
Yeah, and they were very well trained.
But you were teaching them skills so other women would appreciate their work around the kitchen and the laundromat, right?
My sister-in-law tells me daily, thanks be for the great training I had, because my brother dotes on her, takes care of her, just like Scott does for me, and I trained him to be that way.
Nice.
I remember being home from college and I was super hungover one day. I'd gone to a Christmas party with a friend of mine. And, oh, man, did I feel like crap. I was just toasted the next day, just feeling yucky. And I made my brother run around getting me ginger ale and crackers. And he didn't even blink an eye. And he was already in high school. So,
nice.
Yep.
We are here today to do what everybody should be doing. This is the middle of August. And we're looking at our fourth quarter plans and schedule. Fourth quarter does not start till October 1st, so we've got 6 weeks.
Yep.
But there needs to be some planning. And we preach this, Trinity has preached this all the time, your business plan should change. It should be written with a nice number 2 pencil and be adjusted because you learn things. COVID, more money, less money, you learn stuff.
You pivot, you find new ways to do things.
And change is just new information. It doesn't mean you're doing something wrong or it's, quit changing your mind. It's just sometimes you just get new information. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go through what we would go through with one of our clients today. So you know that even business coaches have to do this for their business and just kind of walk through the things we want to get scheduled for the fourth quarter, knowing most all of our stuff is likely still going to be virtual, unfortunately.
Yeah, but we'll be back to normal soon. Oh, yeah. And by soon, I mean 2022. So today, all about business planning and why you should take the time to do this now. Mike and I had a good conversation yesterday about we need to get all of our ducks in a row so we are able to execute on our plan come. So if we were sitting here and it was October 1st and we were trying to do this, we'd already be behind the ball. So for those of you small business owners or entrepreneurs that are listening, you should right now be reviewing how you did last quarter and planning for what you're going to do next quarter. And my favorite time of year is planning season, which is what we're coming into, because come October, we will be planning for next year. And we'll be doing our marketing budget, our marketing plan, revisiting our goals so we can really end the year strong, because a strong end to a year is a great start to the next year. So we are going to be, not just lollygagging, but we're going to be sprinting to the finish line of this year to really hone in and get as much traction as we can possibly build. So that way we go into 2021 just fired up, ready to go, and with a pipeline of hopefully new potential clients.
And some things are going to change because we have new information, and it's called COVID.
Yes.
And it's going to be, we are mentally prepared for this to go to January 1. That way we can plan for that. We can make these events in person real fast. But the new information we have is we're going to be virtual for a while. So you have to adapt to that.
Yep. So what we are going to start with today is planning our mastermind group. This is something that has been requested of us, and also is something that I have participated in the past. Mike, have you ever participated in a mastermind group?
Yes, and I love group think, because I'm a team player. We'll talk about that next episode with my Strengths Finder that I took. Hang around for that one, Trinity. I love that show.
Oh, yeah.
But I love the team atmosphere and helping each other, whether you're competitors or not. I'll answer a question about another business coach. I got no problem with that.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about getting our date set for that, which should be fairly easy, but really going through what that's going to look like and how our clients are going to interact with us for those sessions.
Now, here's the one sheet that we did.
So what Mike just handed me, since you guys cannot see us, he handed me a one sheet that has our topics for our 6-week mastermind course. And this is a closed group. It is limited at 16 participants. So we'd already decided that anything more than that, there's just not enough time to dig into people's businesses individually. So we didn't want 30 people in this group. Let's go through our topics real quick and make sure that these are the topics that we are set upon.
Right, and that's how we got to the 6 weeks. We didn't pick a number and then try to fill information in there. We picked what we wanted to talk about, what we're comfortable with, what we know, and what would be which would be well received. And if it was going to be 9, it was going to be 9. If it was going to be 4, it would be 4. And we came out to 6.
We did. So week 1.
Identifying your ideal client.
So that is going to be probably one of your favorites.
Love this one.
And we are going to make sure that we have tools for our members to be able to really hone in on and identify and put a caricature. Oh my God.
Well done.
Thank you. An avatar, if you will.
Yes, that too, yeah.
Because I can pronounce that word.
What was that movie? Caricature? Yeah, I love that. All the blue people.
Yeah. And that's also something that even if they already thought that they had their ideal client, how has that changed, or how does it look different since COVID? And a lot of what we're going to be doing during this mastermind group is figuring out, is anything changing or has anything pivoted from COVID?
Now, here's my lecture, people. Quit standing up and say you can work with any business, because you cannot service every business in your city or county. So quit asking for them. Facebook Live thing the other day, the riches are in the niches. It's like Trinity's world. If she wanted to do just $600,000 and up houses, beautiful. There's enough houses to sell there.
Yep.
All right. So there's enough in your slice of the pie for your world. Quit asking for everybody, because you couldn't handle anybody. So just, if you do anything, learn that, please.
And I think that's a great topic. Maybe we'll add that to our
Oh,
mastermind
you know what?
group.
We will, yeah.
Yeah. So week 2, we had helping our team to review or rewrite their sales plan. Actually, now that I'm looking at this and thinking about how to put this in the right order, it might make sense to flip-flop those,
Okay.
but maybe not.
Yep.
I don't know. Well, either one, but I can see how one could lead to the other.
Yes.
And then week 3 is how to use social media. Week 4 is how to network with a purpose. And then we have sticking to your niche,
Riches
whatever.
in the niches.
Yep. And then week 6 is our overview and wrap up of the first 5 weeks and making sure that things are getting executed on.
And the beautiful things about mastermind, folks, not only do you have help within the group, but you make friends, you make allies, and you may make a referral partner out of somebody else in the group because you want to be seat specific. So there's not 7 painters in there and 5 realtors in a group of 12. That'd be kind of uncomfortable.
Or it could be a good think tank.
I'll let you
if you're not
decide that.
directly competing with each
That's
other.
true, yeah.
I learn a lot from my fellow real estate agents.
True.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this 6-week program, we want to make sure that it's value add in the content, but also value add in the people that are attending. Because one of the things when we were talking about this a few days ago was the mastermind that I was in. I'm still really good friends and business partners with some people from that group. And that was a group that I was in 5 or 6 years ago. But there were some people that were allowed in that group that were not so great. And
Yes.
all they wanted to do was talk. And unfortunately, the facilitator of that group did not do a great job of cutting those people off and stopping them from just taking over the entire stage. So Mike and I make sure to tell our clients that during this mastermind, everybody is going to have an equal playing field and equal time to be able to voice their problems, to get feedback from their peers. And also we will be moderating the group in such a way that there's not a runaway train that tries to just take over the group.
Yes, and I'm speaking to the guys here. There's you in a group like that, a lot of times you'll find the one guy who thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. If you think you're really, really smart, go find your 2 very best friends that will give you the hard truth and say, do I act like, not am I, do I act like I'm the smartest guy in the room and take up everybody's time? And if they say yes, shut up some more. Nobody likes you. Nobody likes the person that talks all the time that has all the answers. Nobody does.
Nobody likes me?
No, you don't present yourself that way. They do one-to-ones with you because you know so much. But when you stand up and this class was an hour and a half, this dude's been talking 49 minutes. No.
Yeah.
Kills the room.
Nobody wants to listen to me talk for 49 minutes.
No, hell no. So don't be that guy.
Anything that we need to change on this plan,
I like
Mr. Manning?
I like the video we'll have available talking about, and there may be a couple videos, shorter videos, online for them to watch talking about these particular topics. We may lean on some of our referral partners, brain dump partners, for lack of a better word, because you got to have people you just kind of spitball with, and maybe they'll do a video on this particular subject just from their point of view.
An expert video.
Yeah. And again, it gives them face time in front of a new group, but it also shows that we know a lot of good people that know what they're doing. And there's always worksheets. Always.
You know how much I love a good worksheet.
Absolutely.
There will be worksheets that go along with each of these weeks.
Yep.
And then, of course, the group meeting each week. And then for this, we're also doing a closed Facebook group that will be there so that there can be a thread and question and answers, and everyone can get to know each other. So there's a side conversation that's going on in addition to the weekly group meetings.
And now that it's virtual, I wonder in that hour and a half meeting if we wanted to take like 8 minutes to do breakout room.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So it's like, okay, Trinity, you and Drago are going to room. Here's your topic. It's not like, oh, let's talk about this, that, and the other. But there's a specific topic of the meeting, and here's what you two are going to talk about. Again, it's helping each other with new ideas, but you're making a new friend. No, Clint, he'd rather make a friend than a sale at a networking event, Clint Webb, because those friends will lead to stuff. And when he goes to a networking event, he'd rather make a friend than make a sale.
Because he's looking for the long-term value of the relationship, not just a quick dime.
Right.
And that is something that is very valuable as you're growing a small business, because those long-term business relationships are going to yield way more than just a quick turnaround.
Yep. Okay. So, but I like that with the videos, we can bring in, some of the folks we know that are experts in stuff like this. Drago for social media for sure. Networking, Lord, we could pull half the city for that.
Yes.
As many good networkers as we know. And the worksheets are important, folks, because there's got to be homework. Otherwise, what are you going to learn? What's going to make you think?
And doing that homework is what is going to cement the information in your mind.
Yep. Two things. You see stuff on paper. You're like, oh, so that's what it looks like. I didn't realize once I wrote it all down. And break down a lot of things as simple math equations. Mm-hmm. Well, I got to make 7 calls to get a client. That's a simple math equation. But you got to do a little math, a little homework on that. So,
awesome.
Yep.
All right. So dates and times for these 6 weeks.
All right. So this show will come out on August 20. Today's the 20th. It'll come out on August 20th. Inevitably like to give about 3 weeks at the most to promote it, which we're working on our social media plan right now.
I think we should start at the week of September 21st.
And we liked the Thursday morning, that 10 a.m. to 11:30 time slot.
Yep, perfect. Okay. Starting the 24th and running for 6 weeks.
Yep, 10 a to 11:30. And that gives us a few minutes to hang around afterwards before we have to go to our BNI meeting.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if any of you out there in listener land want to join us, we're going to be, it'll be a virtual mastermind session, 6 weeks in a row. Starting Thursday, September 24th from 10 to 11:30. And we just planned it right here on the air. And we are going to have so much fun. We're going to have guest video presenters. And we're also going to be kicking ass.
Oh, yeah. It's a given.
I mean, it's kind of like the jump start that you need for the end of your year to be held accountable to make sure that next year you have a really rockin' start.
Yep. It's practical. We're not going to use big words. We're not going to lecture you on this theory. We're going to talk boots on the ground stuff and practical applications.
And I'm going to drop a couple big words.
Okay, you can do that. So, by the way, I was looking at some analytics from our podcast, and to our listeners in Norway, we say hello. Thank you for consuming our podcast. Hope you get something out of it. Now, this membership club, this came up from... It was from Haley Gray's group. What was the lady that talked? I listened to and by the way, folks, go on to Facebook and LinkedIn. There's so many free classes now that stuff 8 months ago you had to pay for. Now a lot of people are doing many of those for free about a membership club. So for like $40 a month, you can submit a question, and then you get 15 minutes per month with that coach. Okay, it's called laser coaching, which I thought was interesting. And the other part of that is in the Q&A session, you can submit all the questions you want, just don't know when they'll get answered during the month. But you get that one question that will be answered in a timely fashion, and then you get 15 minutes with one of us. So that's something we're looking at as well. I kind of like the format, because some people just need a couple of questions here and there. They don't need us full-time or even part-time.
Right.
I got a call today from somebody in BNI was tweaking his business model. He said, hey, I just want to run this by you, see what you think. So people call us for things like that, and we help all the time. We'll answer any question you got.
But do they get a jacket? Because I kind of feel like if you're in a club, you need like a jacket or a patch or a vest.
Members only jacket.
Members only jacket, yes. And of course, it would have our Wire to Change logo on it.
Naturally.
And maybe a caricature of our faces on the back.
You're trying to get that word out.
I'm going to get it before the end of the show.
But yes, so we will get back to you more on that membership club, but there's some coaches out there that do that. It's interesting, like I said. And if you paid $480 a year, that's basically 1 month of working with us on the low end. So, it's money well spent, and you get time with us, and we'll talk to you for 17 and a half minutes. We're not going to cut you off at 15. So, but don't go 22.
You wouldn't, but I would.
You would, yeah. Don't go 22 minutes because then I'll get mad. So yeah. So if you're interested, when you hear this, if you're interested in this mastermind class, send us a note, info@wiredtochange.com.
All right, let's talk about our fourth quarter goals.
All right. So we need to break this down into 1-to-1, our small group, our mastermind. The plan is to keep running a mastermind every quarter.
Yes.
Because a quarter is 12 weeks. Mm-hmm. And if we run it for 6 weeks, that gives us 6 weeks off, start again. So we'll look into that as well.
For our listeners that don't know what our small group coaching is, why don't you give them an overview of what that is?
It is the folks that either price-wise or time-wise may not be able to schedule with us as they want, but they get into small groups. So it's a mini mastermind group is what it is. And it's more structured than a mastermind group, and it goes longer. It just goes, it keeps rotating. You can jump in for a month, jump out for a month if you want, but it's just always ongoing and working on group problems, but also there's a method to the madness. So it's like a mini mastermind group. I like those as well because it's 4 to 8 people. And again, you're meeting people, potential referral partners. They may know somebody you need to meet. Who knows? I'm just big on being in groups where you can meet people because you just don't know who's walking in the room.
Because as we're going to discuss on our next podcast, because Mike took his Strengths Finder assessment finally,
He did.
One of his strengths is positivity and also communication.
Yeah, well.
And you just, from everything that is listed on your top strengths, you love being you love being around people.
Yeah. Well, we'll save that for another podcast. 59, but yeah, we're not, yeah.
I made Mike blush.
Yeah, I've always loved team. I grew up playing junior tennis and I always loved doubles. Singles was fine, but I love doubles for the teamwork, the strategy. I love that. And I just hate working by myself. It bores me. And if I'm the smartest person in the room, that means I'm working by myself. And am I really going to learn everything I should learn?
So for the fourth quarter, how many additional 1-to-1 coaching clients do we want to take on?
I think we can always go a maximum. I think I was looking at the numbers once. We could go a maximum of 10.
So 10 new clients?
Yeah. No, 10 total. Because then that put us over 10, yeah.
Okay. So how many new clients can we take on? Because we're going to be dividing and conquering now.
Oh, no, we could each do 8 to 10 individually.
So Mike and I we do our coaching together, but we are going to be doing coaching sessions one-on-one with our new clients coming up, which is going to give us greater capacity to serve more people. Yeah. So we're basically doubling the capacity that we have for coaching clients coming in.
And we'll each pop in on the other one.
Yeah.
Because there's some things Trinity's really good at, and there's some things that I have my moments in, and it would be smart of us to use the other one for that.
Absolutely.
Because we were talking yesterday with a client about, we got into these Rorschachs and Strengths Finders and crap like that. And
Rorschachs.
Trinity loves that, and that's not, yeah. And I just sat there and listened, which I should have, but again, that's your strength.
It is
everything you're talking to her about.
Yes. So I was dorking out a little bit with her, and it was totally fine.
You guys were right on the same, in lockstep. So we could do 20 total.
Okay, so we have room for 10. So our goal is 10 new clients.
Yes.
Okay, and that's 1-to-1 coaching clients.
Yep.
I love just knocking the stuff out and getting it done.
Oh, yeah.
Feels good.
Yep.
1 new small group coaching.
And that's 10 new by the end of the calendar year.
Yes.
Yes. Mastermind is 1 a
quarter,
so we would need
1 more before the end of the year.
Yeah, because if we do 1 in September and early October, then we can, we'd be getting into Christmas and New Year's.
So we're going to be doing September, and then we can do November.
Well, then we just have to work around Thanksgiving
Yeah,
week.
That's fine.
Okay. And then we're getting ready to roll out a program called our Starter Kit. And basically we've been working through this just the last couple of weeks. Basically about 2 years and newer.
Yes, it's for new business owners
Yep.
that want the foundational tools to be able to get their sales and marketing plan
Yep.
rocking and rolling.
Yes.
You should see the massive amounts of. Mike killed a small
I did.
tree for
I did.
today's session.
But I do print duplex when I can.
You do.
So the 100-day starter kit in no particular order. We'll talk marketing. We'll talk social media. We'll talk networking, SMART goals, ideal clients, your unique selling proposition, and then how to ask and get referral partners. But basically, it's a blueprint for you getting started after you've incorporated and everything. We're not doing that. We're doing the actual plans to get you up and running, because there's some things we know about starting businesses that we can help you get going a little quicker. Because a lot of times people start, they don't have a plan, or they don't have a marketing plan. So they're like, well, I'll just leave the house, start knocking on some doors and see who I come across.
Boo.
Yeah, so if you're looking for a dentist, why'd you pull into the strip center with an accountant and a hairdresser and a,
My mind is in the gutter because I totally thought you were going to say strip club.
Now, I only go into strip clubs on somebody else's money. I learned that years ago. I'm not
You
spending
want
my
to know
money.
my favorite day to go to a strip club? Thanksgiving.
Why?
Because you get like free Thanksgiving dinner. Well, not really free, but they serve
yeah.
the best food on Thanksgiving.
Okay.
I learned that from a friend.
Yep.
I've actually never been to a strip club on Thanksgiving, but if I was going to go, that would be the day I would pick. No cooking.
I can see you two up in Michigan. Hey, Mom, Scott and I will be back.
We're going to the strip club. Yeah.
We have a great Thanksgiving spread.
But I am so excited about this 100-day starter kit. We have our plan for it, and now we just need to have a date by which we're going to roll it out.
Yep. And we're still tweaking the price. So we will have that out on the website.
That will be out. That will be coming out.
Yep.
But right now, the fun part that we are doing is we're writing the content.
Yep.
And that's another place that we like to dork out. So the plan for this is how many weeks is it going to take us? So we have 7,
8.5 weeks.
8.5 weeks.
Yep.
So I'd say it's probably going to take us 12 weeks to get the content written. I see your wheels turning. You want to do it faster than that?
No, yes, but
You want to lock me in a room on a Saturday for 12 hours and knock it out? No.
No desire to do
No.
Well, prior to college football season, yes. Once college football starts.
Well, this is the good thing is that instead of college football and instead of pro football this year, we're just going to be doing coaching.
No, don't say it.
No?
I think we could start this in 2 months. That's 8 weeks of writing
Okay.
and prepping.
That,
I think
that gives us, so in order to get it to the editor to have them prettify it, that's why I said 12 weeks. Because we're going to have to send it off and then get it back and then make edits and then.
we can do November 1. That'll be 10 weeks.
November 1.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're not going to get through the rest of our bullet points because now we're going to do what we would do with any client, which is ask questions and shoot holes in our plan.
Yes. All right, you shoot.
So for our mastermind group, what are potential hurdles that we're going to have to getting? Are there any potential hurdles that we could foresee that would stop us from achieving this goal?
We can't control a downturn in COVID, but we can control, one of the obstacles will be a proper promotional plan.
Okay.
If we do that poorly and word either doesn't get out or gets out to the wrong people, then 3 show up instead of 16.
Mm-hmm.
So the promotional plan has to be correct.
Are there, what do you foresee as the biggest roadblock to getting that promotional plan done?
I've never promoted a mastermind group for a coach.
Well, that sounds like a really good coaching topic.
But that's, never done it before.
Okay. So what are the steps that you need to take to learn how to do that?
Talk to some couple of our other coaching friends.
Okay.
Which
Great.
I can do.
So
and
doing
I did one
some
yesterday.
market research.
Yeah, I did one yesterday, yes. And hi, Scott. Who's the third one that always listens that we always say hi to? Both of your Scotts listen.
Clint.
And Clint. Thank you,
Yeah.
Clint. Yep.
We're just saying hi to all of our loyal listeners.
Absolutely.
Because they're probably the ones that'll really dork out about this episode. Everyone else probably isn't listening right there. They're like, delete, bye.
Each
but
one,
if you're still listening, then we know that you truly love us. And if you truly love us, then you should share us with all of your friends. So go out there and share this episode.
And just so you know, you 3 guys are on the hook for 3 people for our mastermind group.
Yes, 3 each.
If you love us. It's like those Facebook things. If you're a true friend of mine, you will share, you will copy and paste. No,
copy and paste.
If you were a good friend of mine, you wouldn't ask me to do that, so I'm not going to do it. I do like you. You're a wonderful friend, but I'm not going to,
Okay.
So we would be the market research to promote it properly, because I don't doubt that we can write it correctly and hit the deadline, but it would be promoting it correctly.
Okay. For our starter kit, what potential roadblocks for getting that done?
There's going to be more writing for that. And so that would be the writing. It's going to take longer to write, and then the promo plan. Because now we're promoting to a very finite group of people.
Right. Small business owners and their 0 to 2nd year.
This is a sniper shot versus a machine gun. Folks, don't ever assume people will come to you for your business. You have to go find them.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got to figure out where business owners 2 years or newer hang out. Is it at a meetup group? Do they have a secret hideout? Is it a Facebook group? Is it a podcast? I mean, what is it?
I think that a great place to go to advertise this would be to plaster it at all of the co-working spaces.
Yep, I agree.
Because that's where our fledgling business owners like to start.
And we talked about this on a previous podcast. If you for financial purposes, go find your co-working space, because it's cheap and easy to get into, and likely you're only going to need a desk.
Man, we did a really fun networking event at a co-working space last week, and it was super fun. Hi, Nikki Crow. She listens to our show too.
It was the girls.
And it was a girls' night, and we did an earring exchange. So not only did I come home with like 10 new pairs of earrings, I also got to meet 6 new women and have a little bit of wine, and it was a great time. It was one of the most unique yet fun and productive networking events I've been to all year, because thank you, COVID. But we socially distanced.
Yep,
we all sat at different, we sat at different tables, and it was a lot of fun. But shout out to Vibe over in Cary, because that space is awesome. So if you're here locally in North Carolina and looking for a co-working space, go check it out. It was a lot of fun.
Did Scott want you to model the earrings?
I don't know that he would notice my earrings.
Truth. Yeah.
All right.
Because with long hair, it's hard.
It is.
Yeah.
But when I wear my hair up, that's when I wear my big dangly, because otherwise they get tangled in my hair, and then it's just a hot mess.
Your big bougie earrings.
Yep.
So for the starter kit, it's going to take us a little bit longer to write.
Then we need a second actionable item to plan for the writing time. And I think that comes down to you and I meeting weekly for check-ins, and maybe even a power hour of writing time.
I could see me coming over to your place on a Saturday morning, and we go upstairs
and power hour it out.
Give it about 3 hours, go through stuff, and then drink afterwards.
Yep, I think that's a fantastic idea.
Done.
Okay.
You know, I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, so I can be over at any time, right?
Well, we could start at 7, because that's when I start. That's my coffee pot. No,
you can sit on your bike and ride.
I usually
and
get
I'll
up
just
around
type,
8 or 8:30, and Scott's the one, and I just lay there in bed while he takes care of the dogs.
There you go. I mean, you fake sleep, right? Yeah.
Yep.
We did that with the boys growing up, All right, so that's good. So the 1-to-1, I think we're getting some good traction on that. And it's funny, folks, we tell you all the time, track where your referrals are coming from. All of our business, if I've got them, we've gotten our business from 3 places. BNI, which is Business Networking International, the Garner, North Carolina Chamber of Commerce, which we're a member. They have events every week. We've been going. We're making friends. We got a couple of referrals. And then Facebook.
Yep.
Make sure your name is good, so when somebody says, hey, I'm trying to find a business coach, who does this group recommend? And our name was put up there. I think she told us 6 or 7 people put our name out there. So that's when you know you're doing good and you're a community player and you're helping people, is when they start throwing your name out. So 3 sources is where we've gotten all our clients from to date but we know that because we track it.
Yes.
So where do you think
And
we're going to
now we
spend our
know
time?
that's where we're going to spend our time and our money
Absolutely.
is
Yep.
back in those 3 places.
Yep. And we've got, and actually I take that back. It could be a 4th through my Toastmasters group. I've got a meeting Friday with a lady. So yeah. Okay.
Awesome.
Right.
Well, this has been incredibly productive for us.
Yes.
I don't know how exciting it was for our listeners,
Yep.
but for us, I feel excited and jazzed and can't wait to roll out our new programs that we have coming. If you know anyone that would maybe be in the market for one of these, reach out to us, info@wiredtochange.com. We'd be more than happy to chat with them about any of our upcoming endeavors to see if something would be a good fit for them. And as always, like, share, and subscribe.
But we got it all on paper, folks. That's step number 1. You get it on paper, you get the dates locked in, and then you can start writing it and drilling down. But as Trinity has mentioned before, set the date. That'll trigger everything
Set
else.
the date and then work backwards from there.
From your wedding. Isn't that
Yep,
what you told Scott?
Absolutely.
Like
we are setting the date,
Yep.
and then as soon as that date was set, everything else had to go into motion.
It had to. That's the
It did. It had to.
Because you and Scott were going to be at the altar.
Right.
Was everything else going to be?
And we were going to have 150 guests there, so we needed to make sure that they were fed and entertained.
Which, by the way, you two throw a hell of a wedding.
Yes.
All right. We will see you next time on our Wired to Change podcast.